Hello guys, this is the Gaming Revolution here and welcome back to an all new Black Ops 4 Zombies Blood of the Dead video. Within today's video, we have some very juicy leaks in regards to Blood of the Dead, in regards to the wonder weapons, in regards to areas on the map, in regards to the new Gobblegum system, and even more. So make sure you do subscribe to the channel with notifications on so you never miss out on a future video here on the channel as we stay up to date with absolutely everything regarding Black Ops 4 Zombies, and also drop a like on this video if you do go on to enjoy it by the end of it. Alright, so this leak is indeed coming from the Woo Lads and Eric Maynard. Obviously, I have covered lots of stuff in regards to their leaks in the past on my channel, so you guys know that they know what they are talking about. But anyways, they did post a video earlier today which was actually breaking down a big thread on Twitter by Zombies Alert, where he posted a ton of teaser images, and since they had similar knowledge in coalescence to what he had been told, they were able to sort of break down what all of the images meant. So what I want to do within today's video is break down the entire leaks. I will leave a link to the full Reddit post down in this video's description that just goes over everything that is talked about within the video. I will also leave a link to the Woo Lads YouTube channel in this video's description. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe to them as they post leaks on there and stuff like that, so that's where you want to be if you want to stay up to date. Anyways, let's jump straight into it. First of all, I'm going to be talking about the wonder weapon since I think this is the most interesting information, and then we'll jump into the other stuff. So first of all, the Acid Gat upgrade for the Blundergat is going to be returning. I mean, that was pretty obvious. We all imagined that to be returning. However, there are indeed going to be elemental upgrades for the Blundergat. So I'm assuming, although this is not listed, there'll probably be 4 different elemental upgrades for the Blundergat, since obviously you could get the Blundergat, Pack-a-Punch is the Vitrolic Withering. However, if you attach the Acid Gat upgrade to it, you're able to get the Acid Gat. So it seems like now there are going to be 4 different elemental upgrades to the Blundergat instead of just being the Acid Gat. Now, I don't know what the others are going to be, but we do know that there is going to be a magma upgrade now to the Blundergat, so that's going to be like a lava type upgrade, and I think that's going to look really cool since it'll probably have like lava flowing through it. It'll probably have some sort of flame effect to it, and I'll come on to that a little bit later on within this video, some potential stuff in regards to how that may actually be upgraded. But that definitely fits the theme of the map, since Blood of the Dead is obviously taking place within Purgatory, so it fits that sort of hellish theme. Anyways, the old shield is actually not going to be returning on Blood of the Dead, and it's going to be replaced by a spectral shield. So I don't know what this spectral shield is going to be, but Spectre sort of reminds me of lightning in that sort of sense, or electricity, so maybe it could be some sort of lightning shield, who knows. Spectre does also tie into ghosts as well, so it could be some sort of ghost shield or a shield that is made from the dead or something like that. I'm not sure. Anyways, the golden Spork is going to be returning. That was a classic melee weapon on Mob of the Dead. However, there is now going to be an upgrade to the golden Spork that is going to be an electric upgrade, so it's going to be an electrified golden Spork. That is going to be insane, since that was the most powerful melee weapon we have ever had, so I can't even imagine how insane that is going to be. Now also, according to this, obviously on the original Mob of the Dead we had the Hell's Retriever, which was a tomahawk that you could throw and retrieve sort of like a boomerang, and it would go through all of the zombies. And then there was also the Hell's Redeemer, the upgraded version of that. Well, according to this, that is actually getting replaced by an actual Hell's Retriever. Now what I mean by this is that obviously a retriever is a type of dog, a breed of dog, so essentially it's going to be a Hell dog, and according to this, this is going to replace the Hell's Retriever, and it'll be a dog that you'll call in and it will go around you and kill all the zombies and stuff like that, and it'll be similar to the Nomad Specialist, so the little dog that you have within multiplayer, sort of similar to Riley within Call of Duty Ghosts 2. I mean, we do have the Cerberus heads within Mob of the Dead, so maybe we could actually have a dog that could potentially have 3 heads. I don't know, that's just speculation, but apparently that's going to be replacing the Hell's Retriever. It's going to be an actual Hell's Retriever. I don't know how that would work, to be honest, whether it would be just as powerful as the original Hell's Retriever, I'm not really sure. But yeah, essentially it's going to be like a Hellhound that you can call in and help you out. So this means that the Easter eggs are all going to be completely different on Blood of the Dead, and it begs the question, is Afterlife going to be returning? Because apparently, according to the really old leaks, Afterlife will not be returning. I mean, it wouldn't make sense for afterlife to be back, since our premise crew don't die like the original mobsters on the original Mob of the Dead, so we're just going to have to wait and see. That could be really out of date information now, so that could have changed by now. Next up, I want to talk about the new Gobblegum system. So if you guys are unaware from the recent leaks from the code, which I covered over a month ago now on my channel, Gobblegums are going to be replaced with something called elixirs within the new Zombies storyline, the Chaos storyline, which is obviously with 9, as well as Voyage of Despair. They're going to be replacing Gobblegums. However, according to this leak, these elixirs are not only going to be replacing Gobblegums within the new storyline, but they're also going to be replacing Gobblegums within the Ether storyline, the old storyline, with Blood of the Dead, as well as Classified, the 5 remake. Now, I'm not sure how this is going to work from a storyline standpoint, because Jason has explicitly made it obvious that these two storylines are not connected whatsoever, so I don't really know why elixirs are going to be present within both storylines. So they're going to function pretty much identical to how they did within Black Ops 3, so the majority of the Gobblegums that were present within Black Ops 3 will be present within Black Ops 4, but they'll just be called different things, but they'll be pretty much the same effects. For example, we do have Killing Time confirmed to be returning within Black Ops 4 Zombies, but it'll probably be given a new name and will now be an elixir instead of a Gobblegum. However, a lot of the overpowered Gobblegums within Black Ops 3 will not be returning within Black Ops 4 Zombies from the old leaks, so Gobblegums like Perk will probably not be back, and a ton of the other Gobblegums that make high rounds very, very easy. Now, according to this, elixirs will function like they did within World War II Zombies in terms of the consumables, so you will be able to select each one on the D-pad. So prior to the game, you'll be able to select a few different elixirs, and then you'll be able to activate them at any time within the game, so it won't be like Gobblegums where you have to go up to a machine and collect them. Next up, we have information in regards to the traps. So there's going to be a new trap within Blood of the Dead that is going to be the spin trap. It's going to be a completely new trap that is different to the original map, and it sticks out of the ground and spins around. So essentially it's going to be a big column that is going to have large spikes on it. I'll try and find an image to sort of explain kind of what it will look like, but apparently the spikes are going to be very, very big, so it's probably going to be hard to visualize that, but just think of a big column with big long spikes coming out of it and it spins. Now, the acid trap is also going to be returning within Blood of the Dead. That was a classic trap from the original Mob of the Dead. Everyone used it for high rounds, so obviously that was going to be returning. Next up, now this is a very, very cool feature. This is information in regards to the perks on Blood of the Dead, because the Perk-a-Colas are going to have a different animation to the previous games. So obviously within the previous games, if you were to go down and you needed to recollect your perks, you would have to go through the whole animation of drinking the perk, and in that time you are vulnerable since you can't fend off against the zombies. However, there's going to be a different animation within Blood of the Dead, so that when you go to a perk and drink it, you will pick it up with your left hand. However, you will still have your gun in your right hand and be able to shoot with your gun. Now this is cool because Treyarch have always had this guns up at all times philosophy. They had it within Black Ops 3's multiplayer, for example. So for example, when you swam in the water within Black Ops 3, you would still be able to shoot at the same time. You would swim with one hand and you'll be able to shoot with the right hand. This is a similar concept, but now this is going to be applied to Perk-a-Colas. Now this is really good because if you ever go down on high rounds, for example, and you need to go ahead and recollect your perks, sometimes you can go down easily because you are vulnerable whilst you are drinking those perks. However, now you'll still be able to fend off and shoot against the zombies. Now next up, I want to talk about all the areas that are going to be within Blood of the Dead. So we know from the previous leaks that were quite a while ago, the spawn room now within Blood of the Dead is not going to be where it was previously on Mob of the Dead. You will actually spawn in within Richtofen's secret underground laboratory underneath Mob of the Dead, where the transit crew's cryogenic chambers are, and this is where you spawn in, and from that spawn you are able to make your way all the way over to the docks. Now as I explain each of these areas, I'm going to be showing up sort of visual representations that were shown within the Woo Lads video, in which they sort of portray on the sky view of the Alcatraz Island of Mob of the Dead. They sort of explain where each of these areas is going to be. That's going to be the spawn, and from there, next up is going to be the Model Industries building. And then next up we have the West Grounds, which is a split path, which is between the docks, and then the New Industries building, which is another of these buildings. We then have a transverse tunnel. Apparently it's something like the tunnel that you can see on screen right now that was within the original Mob of the Dead. That then takes you over to the power plant. Then you get taken over to a hill tower, and over at this hill tower there is also a catwalk area, and then there's going to be a recreation yard area, and here there is going to be an area where there's sort of a big crack in the ground and there's lava there, because obviously the map is set in purgatory, so it has that hell aspect, and obviously purgatory is in between hell and heaven, so it would make sense that it's cracking through to the depths. So they're going to be taking a lot more of that hell aspect within Blood of the Dead and taking it to the next level and making it a lot more obvious to us that we are stuck within purgatory. A lot of people think that potentially Dr. Monty could be the devil and be the controller of the red-eyed zombies on Blood of the Dead. But anyways, I think that's going to be a really cool aspect of the map, having that lava there. Apparently the lava is going to look quite differently to on Transit, for example. However, it's going to look a lot more realistic, and obviously now that we are going to have the magma upgrade to the Blundergat, I think that probably this lava is going to have something to do with upgrading that Blundergat. But anyways, moving further on, we then have the cell block entrance that goes over to the Times Square, which then goes over to the cafeteria, which then goes over to the Michigan Avenue, and that goes over to the Sally Port, then that goes over to the administration, that then goes over to the warden's office, and then we get the Eagles Plaza, and then finally we get the warden's house. Now, within their video, the Woo Lads video, they explain more in detail. For example, I believe within the warden's office, there's now going to be an area that is actually opened up. So within the original Mob of the Dead, Trek wanted to have the entirety of Alcatraz. However, due to hardware limitations, they were incapable of doing that. So within Blood of the Dead, it's now going to be a much more extended version of the original Mob of the Dead, and we're going to be able to access all of those areas that we weren't able to access within the originals. So all of the outside areas and all of the outside buildings, we are now seemingly going to be able to access, and that's all of those. Go ahead and check out the Woo Lads video for even more details. They go a bit more in depth about each of the different locations on Blood of the Dead. I just thought I would do a brief recap since this video is already getting quite long. I don't want it to be 20 minutes long, so go ahead and subscribe to them. But anyways, thank you for watching the video. Make sure to subscribe if you're not here for the latest and greatest Black Ops 4 Zombies news and information. So anyways, thank you for watching, and bye.